Morning folks, out for a little January morning stroll with a cup of tea. Pretty decent weather for January, I'll take it. It was raining just before we got out of the car, but pretty nice now. First of all, just want to say Happy New Year to you all. This video's a little bit more delayed than I want it to be. We're getting well through January now, but Happy New Year nonetheless.
Happy New Year!
2025 for photography was quite slow enough. There wasn't too many trips and stuff. I tried to get out as much as I could, got a few nice shots there I think throughout the year, but it was a pretty busy year for us, non-photography related, because we actually got married last summer. I actually didn't get to mention that on the channel, I just never got round to it, but we got married last year. We've also been doing some house renovations and stuff, so very busy year for us, but not so much with photography. But I kind of wanted to start the year, just force myself to get out, take some photos and just see what I could get. So I headed out a few mornings ago, a really frosty morning, probably one of the frostiest mornings of the year, and I'll let you see what I managed to get. That photo I am really happy with. That one kind of just came together, and really frosty morning helped. I kind of drove past that spot a few times before and was like, feel like there's definitely a photo here, but that was the first time I actually jumped out, and it couldn't have been a better time. Love how that one turned out, and it just kind of adds to those photos that I'm always trying to take of like the country corners or whatever you want to describe them as. That one kind of fits the bill pretty nicely. What do you think, Christina?
I don't know what you're talking about.
My photo of the little crossroads with the frosty cottage.
Oh yeah, it's cute. Very Irish core. I also just wanted, we should address why we're wearing the same coat.
Christina copied me. I picked this coat and then Christina went and got the exact same one.
I didn't know you had, well, I knew you had a brown coat, but I didn't know it was the exact same.
You've seen me trying
Anyway,
it
it turns out neither of us could return the coat, so we both
No,
had the same coat.
you tried to, but then didn't. I wanted to keep mine because I got it first.
Well, it's a good coat.
Morning folks, welcome back to another video and a very chilly but absolutely delightful January morning. I would say all this scene needs is a couple of birds, and the reason why I'm actually back at this particular scene is because me and Christina came here last summer. We were just driving along and there was a lot of birds on these electric wires, and I came back this morning hoping for conditions exactly like this, plus those birds, but they're absolutely nowhere to be seen. So, well, yeah, there's a few around, but all these electric wires here were absolutely covered in them last time, so I'm asking for maybe 1 or 2 to fly through for this scene, and it would be pretty perfect. We've got the light just shining through on this completely iced over field, nice clear sky, and we've also got the moon peeking out in the top corner. Just pretty perfect for the type of photos I want to take on mornings like this. It doesn't really get much better. I would say this is almost a 10 out of 10 morning. Not bad for January. So I'll just try and explain to you what I'm going for here. So obviously we have this delightful field. Nothing new on the channel, but the light is coming from whatever direction this is, shining just through this gate, just shining nicely across this field, giving a little bit of depth. We've got the electric poles sort of staggered all the way down the right hand side of the frame, and then I'm keeping this gate here kind of to the left, and I also wanted to get the moon in it. You probably can't see it in the GoPro, but just a nice little addition. So I'm kind of quite low down to make sure that the electric poles in the distance are above the mountain, or at least one of them is, and then I want to get obviously a little bit more sky in it, but also keep as much foreground in it as possible. So I was quite wide there to get all that in, but yeah, no birds yet, but I might try shoot a few this way into the sun because these always look nice. I just thought while I was at it, and I had 1 frame, it turns out, left on the Nikon, I would snap the same photo again. Pretty solid shot to finish the roll, I think. Hopefully. Again, no birds. There was 1 bird sitting on it, and just before I took the photo, it left, so just a little bit annoying, but I really can't complain, to be fair. So yeah, like I said, 2025 was pretty quiet, or quiet-ish when it comes to photography. 2026, oh dear, oh.
My good coat.
Look at that every single time. Yeah, as you were saying, 2025 was quite quiet when it comes to photography, but 2026 I definitely want to try and do more than I did last year. We've actually got at least 1 trip planned, and we're going to Poland in, when is it? March time. Going to Poland for a few days. Really looking forward to that. Poland's one of those countries that is high on the list for me. I love those city breaks like that, especially around Europe, so that's exciting. And I'm also hoping to get back to Wales around springtime, nothing planned yet, but hoping to get back over to Wales. And we were actually over there in the latter part of last year, and the video will actually be posted from that very soon. I was using the film camera and stuff, so it took me a while to get around to editing that one, but that'll be coming soon. Fun trip, and look forward to heading back there, and then maybe later in the year we'll see if we can squeeze in a few more. But yeah, more photography in 2026 than 2025. I literally just remembered, I just want to give a quick shout out in this one to Llano. If you're not aware who Llano is, I actually mentioned them in a previous video. They make battery chargers for cameras. So I have the Fuji one for the X-T3 and X-T30 batteries, and they actually kindly sent me over the new version which does the batteries for the X-T4 and the X-H2, the bigger Fuji batteries. I'll show you on screen, but really handy thing to have, especially if you're doing photo shoots or weddings or stuff like that, or just like going out and shooting like what I would do in videos. If you're going on a little road trip or that, you can just have 2 batteries charging. They charge really quick, and it's just so handy because it can be a little faffy trying to find spots to charge, and if you're only charging 1 battery at a time, or you have to charge it in the camera, just really annoying. So yeah, great little piece of kit, so handy to take on photo trips. So yeah, just wanted to give Llano a quick shout out. Definitely check them out if you're in the market for a battery charger that's quick and handy. I would say overall that morning went pretty well. It wasn't that long because it was really cold, but I managed to get a few shots in there that I really like. A few that, or at least a couple, I think that I'll probably add to the portfolio and add to the website, and that's something I also want to try and work a little bit more on in 2026. I kind of want to update the blogs a little bit more often, and just my gallery sort of maybe making like a separate gallery sort of for each video, or at least each particular sort of trip. I sort of have it at the minute where I have different trips updated, but I haven't updated the gallery in a while. So yeah, I kind of want to just make sure I'm keep on updating the website with photos and try and throw some blog posts in there as well. Yeah, but yeah, a few photos in there that I definitely really like. And I'm hoping that we do get a little bit more frost or maybe even some snow, because I would like to get out with the Yashica and take a few photos in the frosty mornings. I miss the pace of using that camera and I haven't used it in a while. I think the last time was possibly in Italy, which was way too long ago. But yeah, hopefully get out and get some more frosty shots on film. I think I'll pretty much leave it there for this one. Anything to add, Christina? For 2025 or 2026?
Nope.
You got a favourite photo offhand that I took, or that you took, even though you didn't take too many?
I didn't take very many, but I don't quite remember. Where did we go? What did we do?
I can't remember them all. We went to Italy.
Italy? Some nice Tuscany ones.
Yeah, there is some nice Tuscany ones. I'll try it if I can. I can't remember now which one's my favourite. I'll put one on screen if I can think of it during the edit, which one's my favourite. So
Same.
yeah, but that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and Happy New Year again, and look forward to a new year of photography and hopefully lots of trips and stuff. As we always say, take it easy.
Don't be a stranger.
Not often Christina actually gets to say her line in the videos.